welcome. This session is about boundaries. I feel that this is the most important topic to uncover, to talk about this, and finally, knowing how to put healthy boundaries to have healthy life. So enjoy it. Welcome everyone. So good to be here. I'm so excited about this topic. So important for us to talk about this. I do really feel that one of the most important topic that we need to um, uncover all the limiting beliefs that are linked with boundaries and do the healing to have healthy life, because lack of boundaries or poor boundaries creates anger, creates resentment, and creates many illnesses that people are deal with. So this is really important to talk with. So let's say hello here. So let me share with you what I've been seeing and working with me with on myself for many years as well. Definitely this is linked with codependency and many illnesses. You can manifest different body issues. For example, throat problems with throat, problem with heart, problem with blood pressure, and any others. I need to clear my throat. Yes. Speaking my truth. So I've seen doing sessions that help people manifesting different health issues because of lack of boundaries, not knowing how to put strong boundaries, not even knowing what boundaries are, really not knowing how to say no when they feel saying no, saying yes to everything, of course going into pleasing people and putting yourself last. So I'm gonna be speaking about this a bit more, so maybe it will give you a bit of understanding why this is so important topic. It's definitely linked with traumas, it's definitely linked with any collective consciousness or collective beliefs as well, or religious beliefs, land beliefs as well. That's why we are struggling with boundaries so much, because there are many layers into it, and it's not just one thing. So yeah, maybe you can share with me what are your challenges here, or maybe what you've already improved. So what is really important? Start really noticing where you're sabotaging yourself, where you're sacrificing yourself. There is lots of sacrificing energy when we don't have good boundaries. And this just sacrificing energy can be deep, because it's linked with vows. So if we're creating certain vows, and vows, for those people who don't know what vows are, like when you get married, you're creating vows, I will be with you forever. The same we're doing with ourselves, unconsciously and unknowingly. It can be in this life, it can be in past life, it can be in different incarnations or different dimensions, parallel lives as well that we have already. So in some point of time that we created vows that we, for example, there is a need to suffer, that we cannot be happy, and we have tendency to sacrificing ourselves in many different ways. For example, overwork, doing too much, or just overdoing. This is sacrificing as well. Constantly, scanning what other people need, and forgetting about yourself. And it can show up in many different ways, Let's say someone asks you to do something and you just say yes to it, even though you are tired, you're not feeling well, and you're basically going all the time into these energies. So sacrificing energy is quite big. Myself, I needed to heal this definitely energy and clear this, and I've seen with when I'm working with other people, that there are layers to it. There are two layers to it, and it's not just one thing. It just sometimes it's linked with also ancestral and generational lineages, because your mom has been sacrificing herself, or your father has been sacrificing himself, and your granny has been doing the same thing. So of course, you know, this pattern, it's, you know, being passed from generation to generation. You know, energy attracts energy, and this is very important to start learning putting healthy boundaries, because the more you putting healthy boundaries and learning this, the more you are aligned with your soul, with your true self, and the more things gonna be matching that as well, so mirroring this as well. So you're gonna be attracting people who are vibrating on the same level of consciousness and awareness, and then different opportunities comes along because of the shift that is happening. And definitely, if you've been attracting toxic relationship, controlling relationship, definitely this will help you to start attracting more beautiful souls, that more compatible partners, that is follow ease and growth and joy basically. So one of the thing is that if you're gonna be constantly into this, or if we are in this energy of codependency, of sacrificing, overgiving, overdoing, we're gonna be attracting automatically the energy of I'm hearing my daughter, that's why I'm laughing and I'm distracted because she's trying to get into this room. She's hearing me speaking to you. So we're gonna be attracting then people who are like slave owners, you know, and maybe you've noticed that you even have some relationship or friendship in this, that you feeling like slaving, and then other people like feeling entitled to certain things, or you know, feeling like slave owners. You know, this can happen in relationship or friendships. I just recently did session on one person that she's been living with flatmate, and yeah, this is kind of relationship like this, like a slave and slave owner. You know, the other person doesn't want to collaborate, or whatever the person say, it needs to be that way. So the person who I was doing healing with, you know, she's constantly like obeying, you know, or it's like agreeing to things, but she's not happy, you know. And even she tried to talk to this person, the person didn't hear her, you know, or was not willing to do that. So it's very important that we internally shifted energies, because otherwise we're gonna be attracting the opposite, you know, that is attracting. So another thing is, when we are very much in control, the need of controlling, or we are with someone who is very much controlling, manipulative, then we can go into the energy of opposite, like being very passive and dormant, and not speaking, not sharing our truth, not showing ourselves at all, which eventually gonna create some illnesses for sure. It's gonna manifest somehow on the body, and creating certain patterns, you know. I see lots of, like, one of my friends, you know, she's in this relationship, but she's not ready for healing. This is another thing, you know, she just taking pills, so many pills for anxiety, for depression, for things like this, because her husband is very controlling. But again, she's playing this passive role, a dormant role, you know. And so of course, what her way of sabotaging is being quiet, because she doesn't, you know, want to create, there's a fear of conflict basically. So she wants to have peace at home, peace at the cost of her health. And honestly, she's just taking so many pills that it's just, I'm really surprised that she's even functioning, that she can get out of bed and do anything, just even basic things. But this is what we do on unconscious level, that we are, it has to show up somehow, you know. So in her case, it's like going to psychiatrist and taking just pills and pills and pills, because she's not ready to actually see really what is happening and what needs to be done basically. So really stepping in her power and start speaking up truth, or actually even maybe leave the marriage. The truth is, leave the marriage. This is the solution here. This is definitely, boundaries are very much linked with also our upbringing and family beliefs and trauma. So if you were punished when you say no, or you were controlled or manipulated, definitely it's gonna be very hard for you to break this pattern, because first you need to do some deeper healing on this on the situation that happened during childhood. um, any other questions or any comments here? Would you like to share maybe what you are struggling, so then I can speak more into specific situation, because I think this is the best way to bring more value here in this group. Now another no, I want to just give you tips. I know most of people are very scared of hearing or saying no to other people, and I promise you, when you change your mindset, it will free you so much. Like when somebody tells me no now, let's say if I ask for help, or ask for someone if they can do it something for me, and I hear no, I'm so grateful for this, and I'm saying thank you so much, because like even silly things, when recently I've been asking for certain things to help me with on my business, and I heard from people no, thank you, because I don't want actually that someone please me. I don't want that they are trying to pretend good girl or good boy, and doing this for me, because like I don't want that, because it's not coming from the pure energy of alignment with themselves, and therefore it cannot create pure energy with me. Because if I ask something, I want someone that is truly like in heart, can take time and energy and do this specific thing for me, instead of just pleasing because they want to just prove how good they are or show how good they are. I don't want that energy. So I've learned very fast when I changed my mindset, because of course before I had fear of hearing no, because I felt rejected or abandoned. But this is nothing to do with this. I always strive to have alignment, because then it's flow and joy and creativity and nice collaboration and co-creation, instead of dragging someone into this energy of they have to do it and demanding from them and manipulate them somehow or control them. What is this giving me? Nothing. No one is happy for sure, and it's just creating more and more conflict. So I'm inviting you to see no as an alignment. So if someone's saying no, yes, perfect, let me just find perfect yes. And you ask another 5-10 people until you will hear perfect yes. And you're gonna feel that this person genuinely wants to help you. And there is no playing, pretending, good girl or good boy. And it's fun, it's easy. The same, I'm inviting you, if you are having this tendency to please others, start saying more no. Because I promise you, you've already developed some health issue, or you're gonna develop very fast, it has to show up somehow, and it's never gonna serve you ever. To go on my own okay, Judy, I've tried to go on my own regarding not enough money and also false security in a relationship. Yeah, I hear you. Judy, majority of people dealing with this fear of being on they on, like this. I share with my friend, she's taking all these tablets, going to psychiatrist every month, and she's literally drugged. Like, I'm not joking when I heard so much. She's over medicated anyway, and she's got parents that they could help her. Still, the fear of being on her own, not feeling like she can cope by herself, it's keeping her in this very toxic relationship, marriage. And in the end, I don't know what will happen to her. End up in hospital, or I don't know what needs to happen for her that she will wake up. But often people actually waiting, like, it's so hard for me, like, people actually, we need to get literally at the bottom, get really ill to wake up to healing sessions or healing. Like, do we need to wait so long? Like, this is so hard for me to see, because we can't prevent that. Like, when you know that this is your pattern, just start working on these patterns, or working with someone who can help you to empower yourself, and so much that you're gonna feel literally like you can do anything. So being in any toxic and a relationship that is not aligned, and you know that this is not aligned, it keeps you stuck. Keeps you stuck on many levels. Number one, you are in this victimhood and stuck in this energy. It's also opening your field for interference, so having attached different spirits, different energies, negative energies that are affecting you, being more stuck and more in your victimhood energy. Creates illnesses, whether you want to see or not. It will show up if already it's not showing up. That's the truth. It cannot just be just like that. Most of the illnesses, I'm telling you, what I've been seeing is lack of boundaries. Most majority of illnesses, because then when you don't have good boundaries, you create anger. Anger is unprocessed anger inside of you. It's resentment, and those anger and resentment are one of the emotions that are not processed, and grief and sadness as well, because you have to grieve yourself from betraying yourself and being sad that you actually divorcing yourself. That is linked with grief and sadness. It's gonna show up somehow in your body. And last things, I wish for anyone that you need to end up in bed or creating really serious illness to wake up and finally break that pattern and leave that relationship. So it makes you feel stuck, makes you allowing interference on any level. So you just basically make yourself more stuck, and you manifesting some illnesses. Now I know, and imagine if you. I always say, what the worst can happen? Like, can be worse than you already feeling stuck. Like my friend taking all these pills, being dragged, she cannot even cope properly. Can be worse than that? Because I think it cannot be worse for me. It cannot be worse. It can be only better. So yeah, maybe there is a wobbly energy between when you transit between, okay, leaving, for example, relationship because you know that it's not right, and until you put yourself, in the right space and empowered yourself and find solution what you need to do. Yes, there is probably this period of transition, which is not always easy, of course. But imagine when you overcome this, you're gonna be in full alignment with yourself, speaking your truth, doing what you really want, and with these energies, you start creating. Your energy field is changing. People gonna start noticing this. You're gonna feel better, you look better, sounds better. Guess what? You're gonna be attracting with these new opportunities in your life. Like, cannot be better than this, isn't it? So it's like, I've experienced even in my life that I wanted to save money, and I was living with members of families, because we wanted to save money on something. Oh my god, it was not perfect. After a few months, I was like, I'm depressed. We need to get out. Like, because I just spent time for just clearing and amending my my energies, and there was no space for creating. There was no space for growth. So also what I see that people, and I see where people are in toxic relationship, it's very hard for them to move forward. And then what I'm seeing also, that when I'm doing healing on them, it's very slow. It's very slow because their relationship is holding them back. So for example, they do coming for me a session, and we working on certain things, but then they go back to their relationship full of toxicity, like full on drama. There's no room, there's no space to grow and even integrate the healing that we've done. So I noticed that it's those people are stuck, imprinted, manipulated, in many ways controlled, that it's really hard for them to move forward fast. And what I see the vice versa, when people like choose to leave, yes, it's maybe shaky and very uncomfortable, but they grow fast. Like when we do session, it's like, wow, they really move fast, and they finding some, and in few months time, but my life is so different, why did I not do earlier, or things like this. They healing their body, and just amazing things are happening. So just ask yourself, if you are in this situation, is this worth? Because actually, what is security really? For me, definitely is not security when I'm becoming ill, not creative, not being myself. This is not fair for sure for me, security. So you always need to ask yourself, how much you're paying for that, because their price is always big when you are not in alignment. And that's why it's a title, Healthy Boundaries, Happy Life. It is true. The better, healthier boundaries you have, the happier life you have. And you become happier and more aligned, because then you're flying through life. And even some challenges comes, let's be honest, we all deal with certain things. you are in a different frequency, in different vibes. You know, you're dealing with different things differently. You think your perception is different because, you know, we deal with situations the way we see things. You know, the way we are. You know, so yes, when we are in wrong relationship and we sabotaging ourselves or sacrificing ourselves, it's like having, you know, like the prisoner have this gigantic, this is for me, this is how I see always when I'm scanning energetically people. I see this gigantic ball, this metal ball, and there's a chain and it's really hard to move. Gloria, yes, I hear you, darling. Yes, the financial situation is a trickiness. Definitely, as you get older, I can definitely see. So Gloria, Gloria, I mean, I know you. I always admire your energy. You are just like a ball of light, of joy. So absolutely, with your attitude to life, like you just can go through anything, you know. But not everyone, you know, can do this. Yes, it is tricky. I'm not saying it's easy. It depends where you are. Like when you are senior, like Gloria said, I can imagine like. You have this pension and you are definitely financially limited, yes, that can be challenging. So then definitely is working on attitude and different magic like clearings and different things that you can do, grounding definitely will help. um, or dancing. Yes, Gloria is an amazing dancer. And so bringing things in your life that brings joys for sure to help yourself. To neutralize the other energies. So absolutely, you need to then, if you feel really like financially you cannot start anywhere, and maybe you are in certain age, like Gloria shared kindly with us, then absolutely use all the tools you have to make your life absolutely happy. You know, music, walks outside, being nature, you know, connecting with the like-minded people, connecting with, you know, like some communities, you know, and do what you absolutely love. This is the fastest way you can rise vibrations, doing what we love. You know, whether it's painting or whether it's playing music or whether it's hiking or whatever brings joy to your life. It's so important. um, what I want to also share with you, this is where I see very often, it's really working on receiving. Having healthy boundaries is very much directly with receiving, because lots of people don't know how to truly receive. We think that we know how to receive, but when you're truly honest, like be really honest with yourself. So if I knock your door and give you an envelope with some money and maybe flowers and chocolate, how do you feel? Can you truly receive without feeling guilty or without feeling like you are obligated to give me back, or you're just constantly seeking how can you give me back? Like be honest with yourself and really can you really receive? And this is I feel like this is number one things that we need to practice is receiving, to improve, um, to have healthier boundaries. Because when we truly acknowledging constantly and checking with ourselves, um, where am I on a physical level, emotional, energetic, spiritual level, and what do I need? What do I need? And constantly we ask ourselves, then we can meet our needs, and that's why we feel whole and fulfilled, and you know we feel, yeah, we feel great. Yeah, and when we feel great, it's much easier to put healthy boundaries. So for example, asking for support, or even hearing no, or feeling like we can take advantage, not that we can take, we can do certain things for our pleasure, basically. This is what I wanted to say. So constantly checking with yourself about what do I need is super important. And I feel like for people who are not very good with boundaries, this is like step one. Start really learning receiving, but first receiving yourself, like learning what do you need to receive to feel happier, more aligned, more whole, and so on. Makes sense? Please share if you have any comments or questions here. Now boundaries are very much linked with limiting beliefs. So for example, if it's hard for you to receive, definitely there'll be some limiting beliefs like it's wrong to focus on myself, or it's selfish, or you know, having this energy and belief that we should only give, giving only is right, yeah. If you, for example, notice that you're struggling with, you're not very generous with giving, then ask yourself, what am I saying yes to? Things that actually I want to say no. And then notice actually how much do you want to actually give. Maybe someone asks you for something to do and you're saying yes automatically, but actually you want to say no. So for those people who have this tendency, just take time, tell people that, hey, wait, I'm gonna get back to you, and learn and tune into yourself, and you need to take full responsibility for your own energy, and said, how do I feel today? How much do I want to actually give? How much do I actually want to do? Maybe I want to help this person with this specific task just for 2 minutes, or 2 hours, or for 2 days, or whatever, you know. So it's very important to constantly taking full responsibility for checking with yourself where you are and how much you want to give, how much do you want to offer, what is aligned with you. And when you start doing this, you're gonna be more and more aligned. Things gonna be easier and easier. Yeah. Any questions or any comments? Now let's talk about control, because again, lots of people, and definitely this was me, this is very much linked as well with traumas, is the need to be in control, controlling things. When we want to control others, guess what? We crossing the boundaries, you know, we manipulating them, you know, we threatening them, we punishing them. This is not right things. Then you're gonna be attracting the behavior that someone, like I said, is gonna be withdrawing emotionally. This can happen in relationship, that your husband or your wife or your partner is like less and less connected with you and closing, because who likes to be manipulated and controlled or punished in many different ways, you know, put down. So this is really important to dive into yourself and working on the traumas where you were controlled by maybe your parents or someone else, you know. So often this is linked that you as a child, you were feeling very, you know, powerless, not feeling safe. So this is the working on safety and feeling actually powerful in a very healthy way, not powerful in the fake way, by controlling, by manipulating, by threatening, by punishing, by blaming, but really tuning into yourself and do what you need to do to align yourself, integrate this energy healing, so you can co-create beautiful energy with others. Make sense? Because you don't want that someone is dormant or passive, or vice versa. Maybe you are passive because you having someone who is very much controlling, yeah, and toxic. Then again, this is again stepping into your power. This is working on your power, like having ability to, like I shared with this my friend who's taking these tablets. She just doesn't feel like she's got any power or any right to have even voice, or right even have happy life. That's why she just allowed her husband to control her fully. So there is also lessons here, learning. I call this nomad karmic relationship, because we all play certain roles and we all have learnings here, always. You can play a role, for example, like slave and slave owner. Or you can play a role as a teacher and student, you know, many different roles, yeah. Abuser and victim, mother and child, you know, and these roles showing up all the time in our lives. And you know, there's always learning from this, you know, there's always something that we need to learn from this dynamic, yeah. This is again linked with certain beliefs that needs to be shifted and transmuted. Any questions? Does this make sense what I'm saying? Or is this helpful? So I want you to, for a moment, close your eyes and feel in your body how it feels for you when you say no. Just close your eyes and just imagine that someone asking you for something, and I want you to just for a moment being very honest with yourself. And thank you, Amma. Thank you, Creative. Answer yourself. Just feel actually in your body what I want to say. Imagine yourself saying no. Someone is telling you something or asking you for something, and you're saying no. I will not be able to do that. I'm not doing that. How this feels in your body? Where this feels in your body? And now I want you to notice in your body, and where is this in your body when you hear no. For example, you asking your partner or someone else about something. You're asking them for something and you're hearing no, I'm not gonna do that. How does this feel? Where is this in your body? Just type in the comments, what did you get? Just curious, what did you get here? And how does it feel when somebody gives you some ultimatum? Just feel this in your body. Somebody's giving you, if you're not gonna do this, this will happen. Or give you ultimatum. Can it be my heart or my solar plexus, depending on the person in question. Perfect. Very good. And where do you feel when somebody gives you ultimatum? Or you feel a bit of like punishing you? Yeah, as well. Or manipulating you. Where this feels in your body? So I want you to close your eyes for a moment, and I want you to hear this transmission. I acknowledge the difference between saying no and feeling powerless. I acknowledge the difference saying no and feeling I have no choice. I acknowledge the difference between saying no and expressing myself with ease and grace. I acknowledge the difference between saying no and the fear of unknown. I acknowledge the difference between saying no and feeling trapped. I acknowledge the difference between saying no and feeling controlled. I acknowledge the difference between saying no and feeling rejected. I acknowledge the difference between saying no and fear of confrontation. And we're just teaching you how it feels to be in your power, how it feels in your body that you have a choice, that you can express yourself with ease and grace, that hiding no longer serves you. And we're teaching you how it feels to live your daily life from the place of being visible, being seen who you are, how amazing you are, and feel safe with that. And we're teaching you how it feels to wake up to this energy and feeling that you are a powerful creator and you can change and transform any situation. And we're teaching you how it feels to be in your power, so you're no longer attracting any manipulations or people who are manipulating. And we're teaching you how it feels to feel worthy in your body. I am worthy. I have rights to be here. I no longer allow the past experiences affecting me. So I choose to feel safe. I have right to express my needs. And I know how it feels in my body to feel that. I know how it feels to express my needs, to acknowledge my needs on emotional level, mental, spiritual, physical, energetic level. I know how it feels to say no and receive no and feel good about this. Let's take deep inhalation and long exhalation. Very good. Any questions? I know this is very short session. The boundary topics is very deep. We could sit here for weeks to explore this, because like I said, it's very much linked with many limiting beliefs about receiving, about giving, about, you know, like I said, stepping into different energy of control, crossing people's boundaries or people crossing your boundaries in many different ways. So this is huge topic. Breaking codependency, gosh, it's a big task. And we're just doing layer by layer, you know, and just moving forward. Anything you want to share or ask before we finish? So my invitation for you to see boundaries as an alignment, saying no or hearing no as an alignment. You don't want to please anyone, and you don't want anyone to please you. You want always create this powerful alignment where we co-create, with joy, with light energy, with empowerment. Yeah? And this can only give you when it's clear energies. When you give because you tune into yourself, you took responsibility how much you want to give. And then you saying to this person, I am willing to give this, but not that. And therefore when you're giving just this, you're giving from your heart. It's very genuine. And the better receiver also you are, the more genuine giver you become. Not vice versa. So it's very important to practice receiving. I hope this makes sense. Yeah? Receiving yourself first, acknowledging your needs, and then asking yourself how much you can fulfill these needs, or asking other people, hey, can you help me with? And then no matter what they say, yes or no, it's all perfect. And if they say no, not taking this personally, not feeling hurt, just saying, okay, thank you very much for your honesty, because this means that we're not both in a funny energy. I want alignment, so I'm gonna ask other person, and until I will find my perfect yes. You always want to have perfect yes, not out of obligation, not out of fear, not out of manipulation or control. You don't want that energy. This doesn't bring any happiness, for sure not health. Yeah. So it's really important. No more comments, no more questions. So I wish you to start practicing this. If you are saying yes to everything, start practicing more no's. If you are controlling in the needs and control, then stop saying anything no advices, no suggestions, nothing. Learning how to be more in flow and trust, and of course do what you need to do. If you need to heal more stuff, then you do work on that, on going on a deeper level. If you're isolating and hiding yourself, being this dormant and passive, you know that this is your journey to step into your power. Yeah, and being more visible, showing yourself your true talents and gifts. So if there's no questions, then I'm gonna finish this session. So I have another session tomorrow scheduled. It's gonna be about what we're talking about. Clearing limiting beliefs about money. So you are all invited, and thank you for being here. Thank you for creating this space together. I hope it was useful. And yeah, and thank you very much for the messages and also for the donations as well. I truly appreciate them, and wishing you all the best, and have a wonderful day, night, wherever you are, and I see you around. Bye for now. Thank you for choosing to share a bit of your day today with me. I would like to invite you to my Women's Circle every Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Just click the link